Welcome to the Shake Up Podcast. I'm your host and co-founder of Mr. Consistent, Jarrad Bell. This is a podcast where we invite friends of the brand into our studio. We get to know their story a little bit better. We chat all things business, culture and marketing, all while shaking up a few cocktails. This week on the Shake Up Podcast, we have one of Brisbane's youngest aspiring artists, Hope D. Hope shares her insight and experience on her personal journey within the LGBTQ plus community, as well as her success as an emerging musician. Hope's connection to her fans has been felt through her unique sound and relatable lyrics. Recently releasing new music with artists as big as G-Flip, I cannot wait to see what Hope D does with her music in the future. But for now, let's rip into this episode. Welcome to another episode of the Shake Up Podcast. Today we have in the studio, she's very familiar with a microphone. She's a muso. We've got Hope D in the studio with us at Hope D Music Instagram handle. That's it.
That's the one.
Hope, you've driven down from Brisbane. You've got a little cocktail in front of you. How are you?
Really good, thank you.
Very good. Welcome to the Gold Coast.
Thank you.
Hope, tell us a bit about yourself. Like, what's your story? Like, where'd you come? You're 22 years old. You've, reading through this, you've done some pretty cool shit at 22 years old.
Thank you. My name's Hope. Hope Defteros, but I go by Hope D because it's so much easier to say. And I'm 22. I come from Brisbane.
Sounds cool too, Hope D.
Thank you. Yeah. And it kind of looks like hoped, past tense of hoping, you know. And and I make music. I write a lot of songs, play them live, have a band, something what I want to do for a future career. And I work at a cafe and I'm terrified of bugs. And
you own a bar. Harry's Bar. She's got the T-shirt on in the bar. Harry's Bar, established 2020.
Yeah, that's
It's actually Hope's just front room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where she consumes booze and creates booze.
Yep.
You've been doing, how long have you been doing music for?
Since I was really young, my parents kind of realized that I hated doing ballet. So they were like, well, if you quit ballet, then you have to do an instrument. So I picked up the guitar and I learnt that. But since then, it wasn't really in a professional state at all, but I knew it was really fun and it felt good to do. And then when I got older, I started having more emotions and feelings and wanted to write songs about that. And then started doing that and then realized that people could listen to it and feel the same way. So then I started writing songs more professionally and more seriously from there. I feel like you've grown up in the perfect time of where it's a lot easier to release music by yourself or get found, or like platforms like Triple J Unearth. And I know you've been part of like Triple J Hottest 100 as well, which is rad. But like a lot easier to get your music out there and get listened, and you can create your own platform. Are you signed or anything like that? Nah, independent still.
Independent and just loving life, just putting out your own stuff and at your own pace and how you like it.
Yeah, totally.
That's so rad. Did you do like training through, like obviously you picked up the guitar, do you do like training through school or anything like that? Or is it just kind of came naturally?
Yeah, like kind of. I taught myself guitar first, and then when I started taking lessons, I realized that my guitar at home was completely out of tune. So I had to reteach myself how to play guitar because nothing made sense anymore. But that kind of gave me a bit of a direction to how to learn it properly. Yeah. And then had a bit of lessons at school, but then mostly like took it home and did my own work on it. Like used to learn a lot of covers. Yeah. I used to play a lot of cover gigs, which is, I ended up treating it as paid practice because you just sit there for like hours.
Wonderwall.
Yeah, that's it. And then I started picking up like the loop pedal, and then I could just loop things over that, and that was literally just practicing and practicing, and then from that I could make more songs over it. So that was kind of just like my time
to learn, to learn and create and like get feedback right then and there. I guess
exactly.
That's so cool. How about like musicianal like inspiration, because there is so much good music when I was DJing, which was like 10 years ago, there was like I was pretty specific in like the genre of hip hop and R&B and that kind of stuff.
Sick.
Where it's like, it's let's face it, it's commercial, it's top 40 most of the time. But like once I got out of that realm and started listening to other things, there is so much good music out there, and like lots of, I guess, amazing Australian musicians coming through, and like Spotify and like the Triple J thing and all those kind of things. Who's your inspiration? Yeah,
like I completely agree. Like when I was growing up, I would listen to so much Ed Sheeran, and then also a lot of like Sam Smith, and then just anything that I could hear off whatever my parents playing, Adele and stuff like that, which was like genuinely good music. But then as I got older, I realized actually when I was younger, I would just listen to sad, slow ballady songs because I was really sad and emotional and edgy. But then as I grew older, like I realized that I really like the sounds of like heavy guitars and like a lot of pop punky kind of stuff. So then I started listening to actually I listened to a lot of Hosier as well. And that's probably like my biggest inspiration in songwriting. But then I listened to like Girl in Red and King Princess and now those who I listen to now, Frank Ocean as well. I love Frank Ocean.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, but all these people have just like influenced me so much in so many different ways. My music used to be just me and an acoustic guitar, like super sad stuff and super repetitive, all sounded the same. Nothing bad about that, but I started breaking out of that when I started listening to new people. Hobo Johnson influences the way that I kind of sing in a lot of my songs. So it's really cool to kind of pick all these people, put them in your shopping cart, and then, you know, pay the cash register.
Pay the cash register and check out on Spotify.
Yeah, that's it.
So, yeah, that's rad. You still perform solo? Or because I know you've got a band as well now.
Yeah, it's like I prefer the band so much more because it's like playing with your mates on stage and you're all drinking, you're all talking shit, and it's like so much more
amplifies the experience for you, right?
Yeah, 100%. You get so much more energized. Whereas when it's just me and my loop pedal, it's like it's a lot of fun. I still love it because I feel a lot more creative because no one has to follow me. No one needs to know what I'm doing next. I can extend this chorus for how long as I want, but it's a lot more nerve wracking because it's only me, and you know, you feel naked.
All eyes on you.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's probably a little less rehearsed, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah, a lot less structured, I guess.
How many in your band?
5 at the moment, yeah.
Including you? Or
including me.
Yeah. What you still play the guitar when you're playing in a band?
Yeah.
You're still all part of it? And
we've kind of, in the latest practices, I'll put down the guitar for like 1 or 2 songs, which is super fun. So much fun. But yeah, we all just go
full Lenny Kravitz on that fucking microphone.
Yeah.
It's the best.
So good.
Man, because you write all your own songs, do you write with people?
I've only co-written with G Flip on the latest single.
Just subtle name drop.
Yeah, which is fucking sick. Like as if I can get to say that, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But before that, the only people I've written with are kind of like in uni doing assignments together. For the assignments to write songs like with people. So I guess I actually haven't really co-written before that properly. But it's something that I really do enjoy. I figured out recently.
For someone who's never written a song, how do you do it? Like for you, what's your do you lock yourself in a room? Do you with a guitar, or you sit there and think? You don't actually sing it. You just write words down, or how do you go about writing a song?
Yeah, it comes to me in so many different ways. Sometimes I'll think of things that I really want to surround a song on, like 2 words that I've thought of, and then I'll write it in my notes and find it later when I'm wanting inspiration, or I'll find a tune on my guitar and think what does this song sound like? What do I want to make it about? Or I'll be like super duper sad from watching a TV show and want to write a song about that because I get so affected off TV. It's like so ridiculous.
Don't watch Squid Games then. You just
That's
write
what I'm talking about.
Some real angry shit. Or some real sad.
Yeah, it's so sad. I couldn't move after watching that and, called in sick to work. It's like, what's wrong with Squid Games? It's like so sad.
It's horrible, eh?
Yeah.
I was honestly if you haven't watched it, this shit is after that second the second episode where they just start piling up bodies. Oh my! Have you, Kersten or Tom? Have you watched it?
Finished it.
Oh man, I finished it in 2 days. And
I
was pretty rattled, to be honest.
I'm telling everyone to watch it. What are you watching now? Have you watched Squid Games?
Yeah.
Shout out Squid Games.
Yeah.
Far out. But I get, because it's hard to. I wouldn't even know where to start. I guess most people wouldn't, but you've probably got a lot of young people that follow you that want to get into songwriting just have no idea where to even where the process begins.
Yeah, I so get that. I think it's so second nature to me that I don't think about it too much, and it just kind of comes at some points. It sounds so wanky, but that's kind of how it is. But if I had words of advice of how to start, I'd say think of something that you'd be able to write a song about. Think of something you'd be able to write a book about, and then condense that into a song, because then there's just so many ideas that you have. Put it in a 3-minute song or whatever, and just kind of let it fall out of you. But likewise, I wouldn't know where to start DJing, so it's super cool that everyone has their own
Oh, it's super easy. You just type in top 40 on Spotify, and you get Jason Derulo, and you mix it into Calvin Harris.
Sounds so
and you get paid. make sure the BPMs are correct, and you're pretty much good to go.
Good.
I guess it's like for me, it's more like I can relate to it in designing, like with like graphic design or drawing or something like that. Something
Totally.
like I just like I see something, I'm like, I'll write a note in my phone or take a photo or something. I'll be like, all right, when I get home, I'm going to redraw that or I'm going to do that. And
Sick.
like it kind of falls out of me that way. Definitely didn't fall out of me DJing. DJing was just it was a way to have a lot of fun and get paid to do it. Festivals. I know there's not much on. Well, there hasn't been much on for like the last 18 months, but you've played like Splendor, Big Sound, Laneway, any others big ones? They're three pretty, like Big Sound for me as a musician.
Yeah.
Like that's the musicians festival, right? Like
Yeah,
it's up in
totally.
Brizzy. It's like every musician comes out of the woodwork. They do like heaps of classes and like gatherings and workshops and stuff like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, it was
to be
really
asked
cool.
to play in that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Splendor was super duper fun. That was like probably the biggest like hit for me because I went solo. And just to be able to play at a festival that you're such a big fan of and you usually go to, it's like, first of all, I get a free ticket. Second of all, like I get like treated really well. And third of all, I get to play. Like that's just like, what are you talking about? That's amazing.
It's sick. We played a Splendor.
Yeah.
But we just played like the shitty Red Bull, or not shitty, take that back. The Red Bull container bar in the laneway at like the end of the like shopping mall and stuff.
Yeah.
We had like 100 people. We thought we were killing it. But like like you obviously were in that like one of the main stages.
It was actually the Boho. It's called the Boho Lounge, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know the one.
Bohemian Lounge. Yeah. And it was so nice because like all my mates came and it was like pretty filled out, but it still sounded really good, and it was
something about a big system, like that big
Totally.
system, like proper bass and like technicians and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, it felt really legit. But Laneway was probably Laneway was the last festival I'm pretty sure that I played, and it was like right before COVID, and I was so excited to like be like, oh, I've only got one song out, and this is what we're doing, and had the bands there, and it was so much fun. And Laneway I've been going for like so many years, so to be able to play that one was a huge like hit of serotonin. And then like COVID hit, and I was like, damn, like it felt like I got the lollipop in my mouth and it just got ripped out with all my
Taken
teeth.
out.
Yeah, it sucked.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
I promise.
The lollipop's coming back.
The government will give you the lollipop
Yes.
back. I saw like something the other day. They're given like, or Victoria especially, they're given like $15 million or something like that to boost the creative industries. So like,
Sick.
yeah, arts and music and all that kind of stuff. So that's really cool that all that stuff is in some states. They're going to put a heap of money towards it because it is definitely been the most affected.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you doing now? Like obviously there's no festivals or anything. You're still playing shows and stuff like that?
Yeah, we got like 3 kind of Queensland shows coming up at the end of October. It's just Brisbane, Gold Coast and Sunny Coast, which is super cool that we get to play those. But we're rehearsing for those. I've been recording a bit and I've been working in a cafe, which is super fun. But yeah, and just like writing as well. So
where are the shows on the, like what bars are they at? Do you know that?
Soul Bar Sunny Coast, Tivoli Brisbane and Miami Marquetta.
See, Miami Marquetta is an awesome venue.
Love it there, hey.
It's a really cool venue for live music.
Yeah.
Well, get tickets.
Yeah,
People,
yeah.
go get tickets.
Yeah, please do.
I'm going to get one. I'm coming. Is there, like, talking about, like, like, beautiful locations and, like, great music venues, is there anywhere that you've, like, that's on the list to play?
Yeah, like the Tivoli in Brisbane used to be one, and I've got to play that, which I'm like so grateful for. River Stage, I'd love to play that. Like again, I got to play that before this second lockdown, I think, in May this year, which was so much fun. I was so nervous though. It's such a huge, huge space. It's like, what are you meant to do with all this space?
Yeah, what do I do with all this room? I've just got my loop pedal and there's 5 people in my band. There's room for another 60 backup dancers.
Legit.
Well, I've got all this room to do all this space.
Double backflip. That's what we do. But I'd love to play that again. And I guess I'd love to play in, I guess, bigger areas in just interstate, because I love Australia, like all the venues in our country, like all the places that you get to play. I just want to play them more. Does
your music go like? Do you get like Spotify stats and stuff like that on where your music goes? Like where? Outside of Australia, where else are like are people streaming your stuff? Because you've like, I was looking before, you've got a fair chunk of streams. Like some songs have like 2.5 million streams, and some have like 1.5, and others are like at a million. Like you've got a fair chunk of streams, and I can't imagine they're all Australia. Where else is your music traveling
New
to?
Zealand is a big one actually.
That's cool.
Super cool, yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's another funny one. I think London as well, which is so dope. I'd love to play in London. That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
So rad. But I'm pretty sure there is like another funny one, like Ireland or something. I'm pretty sure. No, Germany, Berlin, which is so cool. So cool.
That's one of the cool. Yeah. That's rad.
I know.
People, like, and to know your music goes that far, like, if the world ever opens up, like, there's potential. Like, that's probably the coolest part of like, I guess like Spotify and those kind of things. Like you directly see all those stats. You can be like, when you're working on tours or you want to start to travel, you're like, you know what? I'd really like to go to Berlin. Yeah. I've got a fair few listeners. I'm going to try and book a gig over there and make this a paid work trip.
Yeah. Why not?
Start milking it.
Yeah.
That's what I'll be doing.
Oh, that'd be sick.
All right. We are going to see how fast you can make a cocktail. You own a bar. So you should be... What kind of drinks you mix up at Harry's bar?
I pop beer bottles.
I only pop beer bottles and eat burritos by the looks from that T-shirt. Yeah. Kebabs and beers.
That's it.
Well, we're going to add cocktails to your repertoire.
Sick.
We're going to see how fast you can make it. We'll get set up. Cool. We'll come back and let's see how we go.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. Speed test. We are making margaritas with our Label for Love margarita mix because it is LGBTQ History Month. If you don't know what the label's about or the bottle's about or the campaign's about, jump on our website, check out the actual page, like the product page, check out our blog post, check out our YouTube videos, check out last week's podcast because it's with Red, who is very much a part of the community who actually designed it and drew it, like she hand drew it all and stuff. And that was her baby. It's her big project. So jump on, get educated, stand up, stand out, be proud. And now you're going to see how fast you can go. Hurry. All right. You ready? We're going to go 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
You got it? 75 mils of mix, 45 mils of tequila, ice, shake 5 times, strain it out, dried lime on top, and then that's when you're finished. Cool. Your only prerequisite was to not be last on the board.
Yes.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go. 75 mils. Fill that thing to the top. Flip the bottle right upside down and pour out faster. Let's go. Dump it in. All right, 45 mils. This is pretty calm. She's clearly worked in a bar. Dump it in. Ice. Here we go. Get it in there. Get it in. Bang. A little bit more. There we go. That'll do. Shaker on top. 5 shakes for 2, 3, 4, 5. Crack that thing open. Oh, there we go. Cracked open. We need to strain. One hand strain. Here we go. Strain that thing out real quick. Here we go. Put that fruit on top. 34.28.
Oh, I wasn't last.
That's good.
That's a good time.
Thank you.
Where'd you end up? What number?
4.
Oh,
Mate.
still pretty good. I actually kind of did want to be last.
Harry's Bar in Brisbane serves Mr. Consistent margaritas in 34 seconds. Go get them. You won't put out your address here and people knocking at you. Got margaritas in there? Hey, you guys got any margaritas in there? All right, we'll get this cleaned up and we'll come back. What did we get? 34.28. You're on the leaderboard. In what position are we at, Kersten? 4th to last. Hey, Harry's Bar serves margies in under 34 seconds. You fully tried to like catfish me with the with the shake and shit. Like you knew exactly what you were doing, eh? Popping the shaker open. You're like, I've never worked in a bar. I just pop beers. Yeah, you liar.
That's how you get on top of the leaderboard, though, isn't it?
Foxing me, eh?
Yeah.
Foxing me when you come in here. I want to talk a little bit about your song because you're probably the first on this podcast artist that I've had or musician that writes songs and you've just released Happy Hangover. How long ago did you release that?
Oh, I think actually a month now.
A month now. I want to know what that song's about. I've listened to it, but how do you write something like that and where's it come from and what was the process in actually making that song come to life?
Oh man, well, since it was a collaborative one, we, like G Flip and I and Aiden, who produced it, we all got in a room, and I had just come from work, and G Flip like messaged me while I was at work, and I saw the message and I like had a panic attack. I was like, oh my God, it's G Flip. And then they were like, oh yeah, do you want to come jam with me this afternoon? And I freaked out, and I was just like, of course I do, but no, I don't. No, I don't.
I'm nervous.
No way. Yeah. And so I went, and it was fine after a couple of beers, and we all got into a circle and we were all playing, and then G was like, oh, just sing about something. And I had just come from work, and we're a cafe and we do bagels. So I was like singing about bagels. And then from that.
Cream cheese.
Yeah, cream cheese, jalapeno, you know how it is. And then from that, we kind of got a good tune. And then we got into the room and we're like, what can we write about that's like a bit better than bagels? And I said, nothing. Just kidding. There's a lot of things that are better than bagels. And so we ended up just writing it about an experience that when you're out in the town and you just want to have a good night, and you do have a good night, and then you wake up, and though you're feeling so awful, your hangover is happy because of all the memories that you had the night before. And we all could relate on that in some ways. So
I think everyone can relate on that. Like that is like, that's the best part of a hangover is waking up and like, can you believe what happened last night? Like he did what she said. What, he went home with who? She like that. Yeah. I love it. Can you? Yeah, that's the best.
That is the best. Those mornings.
I love it. How was working with G Flip?
I used to go to their concerts all the time, and to be actually in the same room as them was really scary. But I can just tell, like, if we had met at the same, like before, they popped off, would be good mates. And we are good mates now. So it's just like really cool to know that. And, you know, we both have that same thing of music. But yeah, we got along so well, and I can't wait to see them again. Any
other artists you've got like on the pinboard of Hope D's pinboard of collaboration?
Yeah, I really want to work with Maya, who's from Sydney.
Yeah.
She's so sick. And I really want to work with
Maya, if you're listening.
Yeah, please. And like Girl in Red would be a dream to collaborate with. And people like, Girl in Red. You know, when you get asked a question, you're like, I've thought about this my whole life.
I've got so many of these people.
Yeah. But I definitely like Mary Girl in Red, and maybe even some like, there's a Adelaide artist named Jess Day, and I just love her so much, and I'd love to collaborate with her. So a lot of Australian artists, because I just think the music that comes from here is just really sick.
It's really good. I think it's getting a little bit easier to become collaborative, especially like independent, but like being able to actually physically reach out, like through, like most people control their own Instagram still, or like they might have a manager and then sometimes you get fobbed off to the manager. Yeah. Like I know that from a PR point of view, but
totally.
If you've sliding up in people's DMs and like, hey, I'm in town, like, do you want to jam? Do you want to, and then see if there's connection there. I feel like it makes it a lot easier for you to kind of
totally
get in the room with people, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. And that's like the best thing about being at a level that I am at, where you like message someone saying, oh, like, love your music, and they message back being like, oh, love your music too. It's just like so nice to have that like mutual
that's cool
thing, and just be able to talk to them like your mates. It's really sick.
That's right. Do you get heaps of like fans DMing you and stuff as well? Like,
yeah, it's so nice. I look at them all, and a lot of them are like super sweet, super nice. A lot of them are just like, come to Perth, come to Sydney, and I'm like, I'm trying. So hard.
Tell your premier to let me in.
Yeah. But it's really nice to like see what people say about your music and see how it like affected them. It's like, it's really sweet.
Or like screenshotting it, like when they've got the Spotify iTunes up and they screenshot it and they like tag you when they're listening to it. And stuff like that. Cool.
It's really sweet. And I just I love knowing that you can have like an impact on people in that way, and that they're taking time out of their day to message you, even if you don't see it, or just like, you know, tag you in something. It's just like really nice, and I really do appreciate all that kind of stuff that comes from that.
This on another song here, Common Denominators were probably one of your like earlier songs. The reason I want to talk to you is because you are part of the LGBT plus. I always fuck up these letters. LGBTQ plus history community.
Yeah.
But there's a line in there, just because we're gay doesn't mean we match.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that as a straight man, like I get it, but I feel like there's so many people that don't get it. Is that line in there because it's commonly happened to you?
Yeah, like totally. It kind of only happened to me once or twice, I think. But like the song is about a relationship that I had with a girl that was the same age as me, and I wasn't fully out yet, but we had a mutual friend, and that friend was like, oh, like, are you queer? And I was like, oh yeah, but how did you know? And she's like, oh, I can just tell. And like, no one really knew at that point. And she was like, well, I have this queer friend too. You guys should totally date. And I was like, yes. Oh my God, yes, please. Because I didn't know anyone that was queer back then.
Yeah.
I was like grade 11 at a all girl like Christian school, and it was like very conservative, so I didn't know anyone, but I was so excited to like meet someone that was like me. I just wanted to ask them a million questions and like date them and whatever, but we ended up dating and we really didn't have that much in common. It was a nice relationship. There's nothing wrong with it. Also, I was so young and I've learned so much in this time apart from then to now, but I think
that's your school, like it sounds like a typical schoolyard relationship
Absolutely.
kind of thing.
Yeah, like you don't have all this knowledge that you have now, and like you can't even drive, which is like it sounds like a small thing, but it's a big thing. And yeah, like we saw each other for a bit, and then the line comes from like just because we're gay don't mean we match. And she was really clever. I was really not so much clever. I was like way more into creative things and music, and not that she wasn't creative, but like she was just so intimidatingly smart. And from that, like I just felt this like negative magnets.
Yeah, it was just the spark connection thing wasn't there. Like the things in common, like
exactly
when conversation doesn't come easy, I guess.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
when
exactly.
conversation feels a little bit forced.
100%.
And like it's common in every relationship. Like friends.
Yeah.
Like you either like the like you don't hate people, but like there's either like you obviously have sparks with your best friends. It's the same for straight, bisexual, lesbian, whatever relationship it is. There has to be some sort of common ground and spark to be able to converse with that person.
No, exactly. And the only common denominator that we had was being queer, and it like felt like it wasn't enough like in a relationship. You know, it's kind of like if you dated someone just because you both liked lasagna, which might be enough for me, but like now I think about it. But it's like, yeah, it's just like not enough to work off. But you know, like that experience was really good and it was fun, and like it's nice to have a song out of it, I guess, and to put it out there and hear that people relate to it.
Yeah.
Because it's like a very typical thing. Like, you know, two queer people, you're like, oh, I know this person, they're single, we should date. And it's like it's harder to find your own partner if you're queer than if you weren't, because everyone just assumes like people's like sexualities and stuff like that. So like when you do hear that someone's queer, you're like, okay, now this is my target. Let's see if we get along. Instead of like, let's see if we get along.
Yeah. How was your journey? Like you like a little bit of your journey there. Like how was your journey like coming out?
It was really interesting. I knew I was from a very young age, like from kindy, which is like super young. Didn't know what it was, didn't know it had a name, didn't know it was wrong. And so I just like
it's not wrong.
Yeah,
it's like,
no, not at all. Not at all. But like at the time, like it just, you know, when I first started to realize what it was, like I was kind of like alienated by the other girls in my kindy, like subconsciously, because no one else was queer and I couldn't like relate to anyone in that level. So I felt like an alien in that way. And so as I grew older, I learned that it was a thing, and I kept it to myself fully. It's a really funny story. The first time I ever came out was to like one of my best friends, and I love it a bit. And we were in the back of my dad's car, and we were talking, and I was like, I think that I was so nervous, and I was like, I think that I like girls. And she was like, oh, like she said, sometimes I think that I like J-Lo. And I was like, oh yeah. And then she was like, but I think that I just want to be J-Lo. And I was like, no, that's it. I'm not gay. I just want to be J-Lo. And I was like, that's it. I want to be J-Lo. I'm not gay. Just take that back. And then it took me a really long time to actually come to terms with it and like come out properly. But it was very, like I was probably the only queer person that I know that came out at the school that I did. And it was very hard to navigate like relationships that I had with my sexuality because it was so foreign to me. I didn't really know anyone. I used to watch like a lot of TV and a lot of YouTube videos to actually get like information instead of like talking to people. So for me to kind of find that myself makes me feel a bit stronger in that way. But it wasn't until I left school and found like this excellent community and group of friends that all like understand and all relate to me in that way. And yeah, we just have so much fun and it doesn't feel like an effort and I don't feel anywhere near alienated or left out or anything. So it's like, it's a really nice ending to like a very, not so much difficult, but like just very confusing coming out.
Yeah, I feel like school is one of the hard, like I've talked about it on other podcasts, but like I feel like school's probably one of the harder ones to navigate because it's like it's all at face value. Like these people you're forced to hang out with every day, like whether there's genuine connection there or not, there is sometimes. Like I'm not friends with a lot of people I don't hang out with a lot of people that I went to school with, but you kind of like the understanding isn't there. It's like, just because you're queer and you like
Yeah.
girls, all the girls in the school think that they walk past you and you iron them off, or do you know what I mean? Like
That's why I didn't
there's
come
like this,
out. Yeah.
there's like this prerequisite that that's what's going to happen, and
Yeah.
you're going to hit on every girl in the school now until you find somebody that hasn't come out or something like that, which is it's fucking school's so rough because there's no education.
Yeah, nothing. Especially at like the school I went to was like
Just like,
demonizing.
like Catholic Christian.
Christian.
Like,
Yeah, so that was like almost demonizing those kind of things. So I was really confused about who I was. And yeah, like you said, like the biggest reason I didn't want to come out at school was because I was terrified. Not that it actually would happen, because everyone was like fairly lovely. I was terrified that I'd be like that they would be getting changed in the shared change room we all have, and they'll all be like, oh, like Hope's looking at me like, what a lesbian or something like that. And then and when I was older, like I realized, no, I'm okay with this. You know what? Like fuck you if you think I'm looking at you. You know, like don't flatter yourself. And then I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm cool with this. Like everyone else should be too. It's their problem if they're not, and that's like a really nice relief to have.
You can go to the other change rooms. You go to the disabled
Yeah,
change
exactly.
rooms.
Heaps.
Getting changed in here.
It's so many.
How about like your family and stuff?
Yeah, they were really cool with it. It took them a while to come to terms with it, but it was very back and forth as well, because I would begin questioning myself as well, because I saw that it wasn't the easiest way to go, and like I knew that it was difficult, and you know, like I'm a Greek Orthodox background, so it was there's lots of connotations there, but it was very back and forth because I didn't want to upset them, but then I realized like the biggest thing that I can't do is upset myself, and like I just got to be who I am, because in the long run they'll all be happy. And right now it's just like the best thing ever. They're the happiest. We're such a happy family, and like they love my partner, and it took a lot of steps to get to this point. But the biggest thing that they know is that if I'm happy, then nothing else matters. So it's really nice.
That's literally all that matters. Like so much of that. Like we had Christian in here the other week, and his mum was like, oh, you know, you're going down a really hard route or whatever it was. And I was like, I can't believe, like I'm a parent, but I can imagine my parents possibly saying that to me, but I can't imagine me saying that to my daughter.
It's
like
a different time too.
Yeah.
That they were raised in.
And I'm glad that people are starting to be educated and starting to understand and how to navigate that as, I guess, parents, friends, all that kind of stuff. Because back in the day.
Yeah, I know. Terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying. Was there any like things that helped you, like, because you are obviously, like, you get on stage, you are confident, you're authentic, like you are yourself, like how do you like do that, like you like how do you get to a point, like you've come so far from, you know, that school and then coming out, and then now you just like, you know who you are, you write about all those things, you like, is there any advice to people that you want to give?
Oh man, like it's definitely something that I learnt from so many lessons, and I think that like any advice should stem from just get your own experiences under your belt. Because the first time I ever played in front of people, I remember I auditioned for this thing called Nuova Musica at school, and I was so terrified. I'd never like played in front of people besides like my mum while she's cooking dinner, and she loves it so much. And so I was really, really scared, and there was this really small room of people. And I went out there with my little guitar, and I was shaking, and my face went so red that I thought I was going to explode like a dynamite. And I was so wobbly in the voice. I was so nervous, sweating like I've never sweated before. And then after it was done, I just felt this like huge relief. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never doing that again. And then the more I did it, because I really wanted to do it, I really wanted to show people that I can like do this. I just forced myself to. It was really hard to get out of my comfort zone, because I was super shy back then as well. And something that I am now on stage is like far from shy. Depending on the situation, but
depends whether you got four people with you or one.
Or one, exactly. But and then like after that, you just like learn certain things, and you realize you just got to get more comfortable with it. And like I was talking about before, the all the cover gigs, like some of them you're nervous for, even though no one's listening. But then the more I did them, it was just like plug in, glasses on, hat on, la 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 la.
Go for it, yeah.
Hug out, like it just like second nature. And now like playing on stage, I take that opportunity where all these eyes are on me, and I just use it. It's just
you just grab the energy and go for it. There's nothing better than having like, a lot of people don't get to experience that feeling of, you know, having a couple hundred people or a couple thousand people in front of you, and just like all of that energy just like feeds into your body and your soul, and you're just like, let's fucking go. Like, let's rip the roof off this joint. Like, it's sick. Like, there's nothing like that feeling.
Getting fired up.
Yeah. I definitely get fired up.
Yeah.
I love it. I guess touching on like the reason why we've done this is literally to educate and support and like put awareness out there. What would you like to see the community get behind? Like what can the community, like our slogan was stand up, stand out, be proud. What are the things that people can do, those things?
Yeah, I think that people can just like have a better understanding of the QIA community and educate yourself as well, like read up on everything, understand why people are feeling. If you see someone share something, read it, and like if there's something that you disagree with, the biggest thing that I've learned in life, and I think my partner told me this, is like approach everything with curiosity. So if you don't agree with something, just like, you know, ask, instead of getting mad or like, you know, negatively questioning, just like go up to them and like ask questions and, you know, see from other perspectives, because that's the biggest thing. We're all like 7 billion people with all these different opinions and different perspectives, and nothing's right or wrong really, but the biggest thing that I believe in is just let everyone feel comfortable. There's nothing negative about that. And the fact that some things that come up and make people feel uncomfortable or alienated is just, I find that really wrong. And so the biggest thing that you can do is just like never make anyone feel like that. Like respect everyone's opinions and do your best to just be an ally and be in the community. And yeah, that's it pretty much. Just wear some rainbows.
I love it. There's one of our reps in Sydney. She's been a bartender forever, and I think Red told this story on last week's podcast. But this guy came in, he was acting all homophobic, and she called him out on it. And like she was just like, "Stop being a dick," like blah blah blah, get educated, and sort of like just pepper, because he was sitting at the bar carrying on, and she's a bar rat back in the day. Like she won't mind me saying that, but like legendary bartender, and like had that good banter between. And she basically gave it to him, and he didn't come back for 2 weeks. This is a guy that came in and drank every single day, had his beer or whatever it was, every single day, and she gave it to him. And then 2 weeks later, he came back with his gay son, and was like, "You helped me understand and educate me, and made me realize I was being an idiot and being a dick, and I haven't got this relationship with my son." And like, so that like standing up, like that's the number one thing. You know, you see someone saying something that you don't agree with, or like being homophobic, whatever it is, call them out. Like,
100%.
It's not okay.
Nah, that's such a sweet story.
Yeah, like you never know what the effect can be.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. Yeah, that story really like touched with me. All right, music. Actually, you know what? Let's play this card game.
Cool. Yes.
Never have I ever.
Cool.
Never have I ever. All right, you've seen a couple of cards.
Yeah,
You've seen a couple of cards. Shake up card game. Never have I ever pack. It's out. You can buy it online. I think we should be arrived by this time this podcast comes out. Do you reckon? Yeah, another week. It's en route. But never have I ever. Which card? How many cards off the top here, Kersten? Oh, I'm going to let you choose one.
Okay.
You're going to read it out.
Okay.
Tell me the story.
Okay. Any money, more middle.
Never have I ever been on the news.
Yes. I have been on the news. Once, for what I can remember. I was working at this ice cream shop. I don't know if I can say the name. Can I say the name?
Yeah.
Nitrogenie.
This isn't Triple J.
True. McDonald's. It was called Nitrogenie, and it was in South Bank. I was like grade 8 or something. And my coworkers just found out that I like to rap music and stuff. And I used to rap, but like call myself a rapper. I'm not a rapper, but I sometimes rap. That's a better way to say it.
That's it. Next song coming out. It's got a rap chorus in it.
Yep,
so.
Eminem verse. This news company, I think it was Great Southeast or something, came in to do like a little thing of Nitrogenie, because it's this like new ice cream shop. We used liquid nitrogen to make the ice cream. It was actually pretty cool and like really tasty. But they came in, and then my manager at the time was like, "Hope, like make a song about Nitrogenie and like sing it while they come in." I was like, "Oh no!" Like I was so shy, and then I just like started spitting, spitting this rap, and then she was like, "You have to do it. You have to do it." And I was like, "Okay, I got to do it." And so there's this video of me with my scientist glasses on, my hat, my Nitrogenie overalls, and I'm staying there as a 14-year-old. I'm like, "This ice cream is so damn nice. The best part is that we don't use ice." And it's like horrific. And it's so funny. It's like the oldest video on my Instagram. I'll send it to you if you want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see the clip. That's sick.
I will be scrolling, but I'll find it. It's so horrific to watch now. It's like my whole muscle like cramps just from like cringing so hard. It's so bad.
I feel like it, like in a couple of years' time when you go like viral, you go big, it'll come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
And it'll be like on Twitter or something, or like YouTube, or like Reddit, or like, you know, one of those like, those Instagram pages, and it's like famous rapper Hope D raps about Nitrogenie. He raps about ice cream.
Oh man, it already comes back to haunt me whenever I stalk myself.
That's so good.
So bad. You know what? I will find it.
I'll send it to you. I want to ask you this one. Never have I ever had a terrifying experience during an overseas holiday.
Yeah, this one's like not that terrifying as opposed to what some can be. But I was walking through the airport with my ticket. My mum's like, I was pretty young, and we were going back home, I think, from Greece, which was so sick. And she was like, yeah, here's your ticket, like don't lose it, rah, rah, rah. And I was like, yeah, of course. Holding on to the ticket, and then I walked past this like perfume man. He's like, oh, you want a free sample? I was like, yes. Took it, like wiped on my body, like rah, rah, kept on walking, and then like put it in the bin, and then like kept on walking. We were back to board, and boarding went up. We were like the last ones because we went on last because our seats were last or something. And like I go to get my ticket, and it was perfume sample. and back then, like I don't know, I can't even remember what the alternative would be. Like now you have your ticket on your phone and stuff like that. Not that was that long ago, but I have no idea like if they could look it up. But I just start freaking out, and I run to like 7 bins and search like all this rubbish. And I finally found the ticket. It was sitting on top of one of the bins.
Do you know what the craziest part is? Like, I, for some reason, have that fear when I give my 3-year-old her plane ticket.
Yeah, totally.
But,
yeah,
like, all you have to do is, like, have ID, and they'll print it at the desk for you again. Like,
there you go.
There's no need to go through the bins.
Oh, I think I just wanted to.
I felt like the adrenaline rush of going through the bins.
Literally.
And just
like, I'll save the day, Mum. Like, just come back with banana peels on me.
Oh, man, that's so funny. All right. What is there anything you've got coming up? Like, what besides the tour? You got new music coming out. You only released that song a month ago. Yeah. Like, how long do you plan your releases? Or are you just like
a little bit?
Think this is ready to go? Or?
Yeah, plan them actually. I do plan them. But the next new music will probably come out next year. I'm pretty sure. But for now, this single launch coming up in the end of October, which is super exciting. Soul Bar in Marchant, Miami, Marquetta, Gold Coast, and Tivoli in Brisbane. So excited. And then after that, kind of just chill, take whatever gigs can possibly come my way, and new music next year for sure. And just going to be chilling until then. Awesome.
Grab tickets. Follow you on Instagram at HopeDMusic. Also, stream Spotify, iTunes. What else is out? I only know those two. Do you have like YouTube channel or anything like
YouTube,
that? Go check her out on YouTube because you do music. You do all like music videos and stuff when you release music.
Yeah, totally.
Go check her out. Go follow. We'll link all the description. Put all the links in the description. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for making the trip down from Brisbane for a little couple of cocktails with me.
Literally anytime. Thank you for having me.
And sharing your story like that. That's the most amazing part, to have someone like you with, the following that you do, telling the stories that you're doing, especially for this month. Like, that's why we wanted to get you in here and learn about your story and learn about you, and you, like, because you're fucking creative and you fucking can shake cocktails. You cheeky devil. You cheeky devil.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you.
That's today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, leave a review. Go show the Shake Up some love and stay connected. Don't forget you can watch all of our episodes on YouTube. Also, jump over to our Shake Up Cocktail Gang Facebook page where you can find out who's coming up on the podcast. And if you've got questions for them, I'll ask the bloody questions. You can also use the code SHAKEUP for 10% off on mrconsistent.com.au. Thank you so much for listening, and just remember, shit that's fresh.